You know, when Ben Johnson first got hired, he told all of us that there will be competition everywhere on this Bears team. He drafted Colston Loveland to compete with Cole Kmet. He drafted Luther Burden III to compete with DJ Moore and Rome Odunze. He drafted Ozzie Trapillo to compete with Braxton Jones and Karan Amagaji at the left tackle spot. He drafted Cal Monungai to compete with DeAndre Swift and Roshan Johnson at running back. So, after the disappointment of the Family Fest practice this past weekend, Ben Johnson promised the team that today would be one of their most physical practices ever. And by all accounts, that is exactly what it was. And out of the entire offseason with Ben Johnson leading the charge, everything that has happened up until today has led me to one conclusion. The monsters of the Midway are back. Welcome back to Bears Yard. This your boy Vipe. And the Chicago Bears are going to be a whole different team from what the NFL has been accustomed to in recent memory. You know, if you're like me, if you watch practically every Bears game over the past, 5, 10 years, whatever the case may be, you probably felt like the Bears were kind of soft. Yeah, we had the monsters of the Midway moniker, but the team was kind of soft. I mean, Matt Eberflus brought us, 3 consecutive losing seasons. Besides 2018, we didn't have much success under Matt Nagy. I mean, I think we had 1 or 2 good years, but really didn't do too much with him. They were kind of soft there, and then we won't even get into Mark Trestman. Oh, my goodness. But the team have been kind of soft. Well, from all of the reports and accounts coming out of training camp and practices under the leadership of Ben Johnson, soft is not a word that you will be able to use to describe the Chicago Bears of 2025. Just take this practice today. I think it was over 2 hours. It was impasse. They were popping, hitting each other. I mean, there were 4 fights today, you all. 4 fights at practice. Unfortunately, this physical practice resulted in a couple of injuries, most notably to Cole Kmet, who I think he suffered an arm injury. He left practice and did not return. Also, Doug Kramer, the backup center, got injured as well. Don't know what his status is, but I love it. And not only do I love it, the players are loving these physical practices. I think Ben Johnson described it as getting them calloused up, getting them ready for the actual NFL season, which is coming very quickly here, mind you. Week 1, Monday Night Football against the Vikings, not too far away. So it's time to ratchet it up. It's time to get a little bit physical. And the cool thing is, this Friday, we have our first joint practice with the Miami Dolphins and Mike McDaniels over there and those boys. So we got the joint practice on Friday. The first preseason game is on Sunday. And that will really be a test to see where the Chicago Bears are in terms of their training, their physicality, and just how much they have learned or are learning under Ben Johnson. But I love the fact that he is making everybody compete. I love how he's calling people out, calling players out, pulling players out of drills and different things like that if they're not doing things correctly. He is such an attention to detail person. He is making sure that these players are honing their attention to detail, making sure they get everything right, even though there's still some sloppiness going on. I think today there are a couple of false starts on the offense, so we still got to clean things like that up. But as they grow and train and practice more and more under Ben Johnson, those things are only going to get cleaned up because he is demanding that they get cleaned up. And as Montez Sweat said in an interview today on NFL Network, which he actually aired an F-bomb, mind you, he said that if you mess up in practice, you get called out in front of the entire team. And like Montez Sweat said, nobody wants to get put on blast in front of the entire team, right? So they're going to do what they got to do to clean this stuff up for sure. Now, when it comes to the preseason game this week, I think a reporter asked Ben Johnson today the status if the starters would play and different things like that. Ben Johnson said that is to be determined. He wants to still talk to his staff, and he also wants to talk to Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniels to see if or how long he's going to play his starters and different things like that. So I think we'll probably have an answer to that by the end of the week. I usually, in these first preseason games, the starters play very literally. They might play a series, but it is a new offense. We're still trying to get Caleb Williams to master the offense. And as Ben Johnson himself has said, if you want to learn something, repetition. You got to do it over and over again. So because of that, you might see Caleb Williams in for a series or two, maybe. But again, it depends on if the Dolphins are playing their starters. I believe that if the Dolphins are going to sit their starters, then Ben Johnson will probably sit the Bears starters because, you know what, starter versus bench players, that's bad NFL etiquette. You don't want to do that. But we'll see what happens. I mean, you never know. Again, Ben Johnson's still trying to install his, or actually today the installs are over with. He said he installed, all of the installs were done today, but he's still trying to get the Bears to master the offense and different things like that. We already know that the defense is alive and well with Dennis Allen over there and the boys chirping every chance they get at the Bears offense in practice today. I mean, I even heard about Gervon Dexter basically slammed Braxton Jones to the ground today because they had it in one of the fights. So it was kind of crazy out there, Bears camp. But the thing about it is, all of the things that I talked about in the video about competition and these practices and how physical they've been and different things like that, all of that has led to the release of the first unofficial depth chart for the summer. Now, before we take a look at this depth chart, it's important to note that, as Ben Johnson said, and I'm telling you all, don't take anything on it too seriously because he's still trying to develop things. He doesn't know who's going to be showing up in particular packages and different things like that. Not to mention, this depth chart was compiled by the Bears communications team. So that alone should tell you that this is not really a serious depth chart. But it's something for us to talk about real quick here on the channel. So if we take a look at the depth chart, there's not really too many surprises, but there are a couple of things that stood out to me. Number one, Braxton Jones is the starting left tackle, which really shouldn't come as a surprise given the fact that he is the most veteran member of that group between him, Karan, and Ozzie. So, of course, Braxton Jones is going to be LT1 on the depth chart. So, I don't know if that's going to be like that in real life when week one rolls around, but at least on the depth chart, Braxton Jones keeps his job. The other thing is that Tyson Bagent is QB2. Shouldn't be a surprise there, but I know there was some talk about maybe Chase Keenum moving up and bumping Tyson out of QB2. Well, at least according to the depth chart, not really the case. And I don't think that's going to happen in real life. I think Tyson Bagent has been good enough and has continued to grow and mature to the point where he has QB2 locked down. Ben Johnson also talked glowingly of Tyson Bagent today. So I also believe that will lead to him keeping his spot behind Caleb Williams. The other thing that was interesting on the depth chart is that both Colston Loveland and Cole Kmet are both listed as starters at tight end, which means, as I've told y'all numerous times on this channel, there's going to be a lot of 12 personnel. And it sounds like from this depth chart, 12 personnel, which is, I think, running back, 2 tight ends, is going to be the base offense that the Chicago Bears run. So that means that Colston Loveland and Cole Kmet are both going to be in on pretty much most plays, every play, most plays, things like that on offense. So you can't really take anything away from that. Now, we still need to figure out what's going on with Cole Kmet as far as his injury goes. But assuming he comes back and he's ready to go week one, it's going to be him and Colston out there starting together. And that is going to create a lot of matchup nightmares for NFL defenses because they are both very good. But then you got Colston Loveland out there who is running routes like a receiver. Look out for that one, man. That dude is going to cause some headaches for real. But what do you guys think of this unofficial depth chart? Does anything surprise you about it? Is it what you expected? Let me know. Drop a comment. Make sure you subscribe to the Yard for more things Chicago Bears. And if you want more Bears Yard coverage, check out that video right there.